Students and parents, we are all here to know everything about Rotary Youth Exchange Program. But in an Indian culture, any of the program we start, before that, we invoke a prayer. So, in a unique way, I would request inbound students who are here, Sky and Anna, to come here and sing a prayer before the beginning of this program. Please. Well, Anna is from Belgium and Sky is from USA. A big round of applause for them. They are the students of Bharati Krishna Vidya Vihar School studying here at the school. Once again, I welcome you all on behalf of Rotary District 3030, Rotary Youth Exchange Committee, all Rotary Clubs of Nagpur, and Rotex 3030. I will very briefly introduce you the two dignitaries sitting on the dais. The gentleman sitting in the center is Mr. Rotarian Rajendra Khurana. Rajendra sir had been chairman of this program for many years. He was past president of Rotary Club of Nagpur West, and next year, means in 24-25, he will be the district governor of 3030. Next to Rajendra Khurana is Mamta Jaiswal, who is the president of Rotary Club of Nagpur Elite and chairman for this year for Rotary Youth Exchange Program. I am Tarun Patel. I am outbound coordinator for Rotary Youth Exchange Program. One more lady is yet to join us. She is Pooja Khatri, who is in RE. Whenever she comes, I'll introduce you. I'll introduce to you all. Well, thank you all sitting here for the interest you have shown in Rotary Youth Exchange Program. Students, this program offers numerous benefits and new experience as participants in Youth Exchange Program. To learn firsthand all about aspects of life in another country. Your concepts of the world expands, you mature and develop deeper understanding of yourself, immersing in another country's culture and education system, which enhances your academic and personal growth. Rotary Youth Exchange Program also offers you most rewarding skill building opportunities and personal growth experience which will be available to you young lad as a humanity, which is a step forward to face the challenge of 21st century. You will return home after this program if you decide to, not only understanding other nation culture, but much more. During this program, you will also experience spectacular and unique culture along with the tools to observe and share your thoughts as well to learn new best practices with peers. This is truly, I repeat it, this is truly once a lifetime opportunity for students. Friends, this seminar is organized to make you understand in detail what the Rotary Youth Exchange Program is all about, where many of the students like you have been benefited, not only adding to their personality, but taking up their level to the next level. You know, in many ways they have groomed up what they are today and what we have experienced in the students in the past many years. Because this team sitting here has handled more than 200 exchange students, those who have gone outside India and hosted more than 200 students who have come here. So we have seen great, change in the personality, those who have gone on this program after they have come. In exchange, we have got many countries. In fact, the form which you students will be filling up, you can give the choices over there. It's like just to very briefly explain you: USA, Germany, Belgium, France, Italy, Spain, Mexico, and Taiwan. These are the countries. Like we have usually our exchange program. Well, furthermore, we would understand much ahead in this program as we move forward. Request Chairman Rotary Youth Exchange Rotary Mamta Jaiswal to please come and do her opening remarks. Mamta.
Good morning, respected dignitaries on the dais, Rotarians present here, members of media and my dear friends. A pleasantly welcome to you all. On behalf of District 3030, I welcome you all for the Rotary District Seminar, Youth Exchange Seminar. Great to work under the guidance of Rotary Youth Exchange Advisor and DGE Rajendra Purana sir. While addressing this district seminar of Rotary Youth Exchange, my heart is honored. Thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. Rotary Youth Exchange is a jewel in our Rotary crown and is one in the center as it shows the best who we are in the world. This program are a world of possibilities, achievements, and great happenings. Rotary, based on age and timeline, has classified the exchanges into two types: long-term exchange program and short-term exchange program. During this seminar, you will gain the information about both the programs, long-term and short-term. The major role of Rotary Youth Exchange is to dive into another culture. It is an opportunity for the students to experience something new and enrich their lives. You are going to experience something different, totally different, and enrich your life. Students develop their leadership skills, learn to adopt new environment, and most importantly, discipline. Exchange students are able to better accept other perspectives and integrate them in their thinking and their actions. It's always good to think about the future. And by the time you finish your education, you want your CV to have something will make you stand out from the crowd. When you live away from home, are you getting my point? When you live away from your home in another country, you will soon build up your confidence and develop cultural sensitivity. Lastly, to be a part of Youth Exchange in a 1 billion opportunity, to grab this lifetime experience and help future generation to be a role model. Please be with us today so that we can share with you all the glimpses of this wonderful journey of Rotary Youth Exchange Program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mamta ji. Now I request Rotary Youth Exchange Advisor and District Governor-elect Rajendra Khurana to give you an overview about this program. This is very important. You all students, please be careful and seek out.
Good morning, everyone. We have with us IY Chair or Rotary Youth Exchange Chair Mamta ji. She's been on Rotary Youth Exchange Program for more than 10 years now. And we also have Tarun Patel, who's the outbound coordinator. Again, he has been on the Rotary Youth Exchange Exchange team for last more than 10 years now. We have Rotary Youth Exchange students, inbound students who are here. You heard the prayer from two girls. We also have boys. We have Philip from Germany and likewise from France. Will you please stand? So they have been here. They have been here and living with families in Nagpur for last 3 months, three and a half months. So you have already seen what transformation or how they have been assimilated into our culture. We also have Rotex students. We have Aryan Agarwal, who is the president of Rotex. Aryan, please rise. We also have Ria. Ria is here. She's not back. Yeah. So Rotex is basically a club again that we have formed, which is of students who have been on the program earlier. They are the alumni of Rotary Youth Exchange Program. So they help us in promoting the Rotary Youth Exchange Program, and they also help us with various other activities or which actually helps in getting the students who come in from various countries to adopt to our culture, help them in assimilating with our families over here. We also have some parents of youth exchange students who have gone on this program earlier. So again, you will have an opportunity to interact with them and have a better understanding about the program. IY students who have been on the program will also be interacting with these prospective students here. And I wish a very good morning to all of you once again. And let us try and see what RY program is all about. So next slide, please. So basically, Rotary Youth Exchange Program was initiated by Rotary International way back, and Rotary's motto or the Rotary's main objective is to build better world understanding and peace in the world. And RI, again, this program is a step towards that, that it is building better world understanding when students from here go abroad and when students from other countries come and live with our families over here, they again a very good world understanding or maybe understanding about the Indian culture, and when our students are outside, better understanding of people over there develops, and Rotary believes that that will go a long way in building better world understanding in the days to come. So basically, this program is like Mamtaji said, it transforms, brings in a lot of positive changes in the students who take part or go on this program, because they are away from the protected environment of the families, and when they are in the new surroundings, they have to adapt themselves to that surrounding, be with new people. I always say that it takes a lot of courage on part of the students who are opting for this program, and a lot of courage on part of the parents who choose to send their students on this program, because you're going into the unknown, and that's a great adventure, I believe. And I really always applaud the students who opt for this program and the parents who choose to send their cohorts on this program. So the first exchanges go way back to 1927. That time this program was unofficially done, and it continued over a period of lot of years before Rotary really adopted this program as its official program. That was in the year 1972. So we have a track of more than 51 years now of running this Rotary Youth Exchange Program. So this is a program which is open to children of Rotarians as well as non-Rotarians. There is no bias in selection. Anybody who applies is welcome, and more than 9,000 students every year go participate in this program, and more than 100 countries are participating in the exchange program around the world. The eligibility or the criteria that we are looking for in the students is that they should be willing to adapt. They should have that willingness. They should be good students, say above average. They should have that thing in them to get involved in various activities, willingness to speak in front of groups, and attitude of giving. Because the students who are selected on this program will be ambassadors of not only the uh, Rotary district, the place is to belong to, and but also the country. Because people out there will look at India through you. So that is why the students who are selected on this program, they are properly groomed before they go on this program. We take care that they are groomed very well, so that they are ready to, adapt to the places where they. Because then there's going to be a lot of cultural change, sea change. So it takes a lot of preparation to, mentally to adapt to those things. So, like Mamtaji had mentioned, there are two types of exchanges that Rotary Youth Exchange offers. One is the long-term exchange, the other one is short-term. Long-term is for one full academic year. Generally, it lasts for 10 to 11 months. You have to be, it is a school-based exchange program, the long-term one. So naturally, you have to attend the schools over there. The visa which you get is school-based visa. So you have to essentially attend the schools over there. Of course, you will get a lot of opportunity to meet up with make a lot of new friends over there and learn their culture. You totally get immersed in the culture of the country where you are there for 10 to 11 months. You also meet up with a lot of other RY students who are in that place. You will make global friends. And these connections that you make really last for a long time, lifetime, I can say. So the age group that we are looking for is 15 to 18 years. Again, wherever you go, you get to stay with 2 to 3 families. And like I said, you have to attend school and you get to be an exposure to their culture. Next slide, please. Again, in this, actually, you get free hosting by families over there. The families are very, very carefully identified. Over here, we you make use of the families which are sending students abroad for hosting. But in other countries, it may happen that some of the families which are hosting, uh, they have not sent their wards on the program. So those are families which are offering or volunteering to host children because they enjoy doing that. While you are there, students who are there, they attend schools. They also get pocket money, about $75 to $150 a month, depending from country to country. It is little different. And there is round-the-clock support from Rotary volunteers. Every student is allocated a counselor, and counselor is the friend, philosopher, guide for the students throughout the year. Yeah, I think we have covered that. Short-term exchange, again, the age group that we are looking for is again 15 to 18 years. Here, it can be relaxed up to 19 years also. This is generally, it lasts for 4 to 6 weeks. It doesn't involve attending any schools over there because being a short-term program. And it can, we also have a lot of international youth camps. So those youth camps are also part of short-term exchanges. Of course, in youth camp, no exchange is involved, but students from here can go and attend youth camps which are organized by various countries around the world. More so in European countries, we have a lot of youth camps, which are also some of the youth camps are interest based. Suppose if somebody is interested in music, we have a group where, or we have a camp where all students who are interested in music are invited. They undergo training under some masters, and then they also have the chance to take part in a concert and things like that. So there are a lot of camps which are also very interesting, in which students can take part. So again, here also we have support from Rotary work. Rotary takes the full responsibility from the point student lands in that country and till the point student leaves the country. Rotary takes the full responsibility. It offers a traveling opportunity, again making new friends from other countries, and a brief introduction. You can say it's sort of a trailer, but they get some exposure to the countries and they could pick up a new language or pick up some interest. It can be triggered within them to learn a new language and maybe opt for another exchange program while if they are interested in the future. The countries with whom we are currently having exchange relationship are listed here: Belgium, Brazil, France, Germany, Italy, Mexico, USA, Canada, Sweden, Taiwan, Spain, Argentina. Many other countries are also open, but generally we are exchanging students with them for long period of time now. So, like I said, Rotary has adopted this program for the past 51 years. So, over the period of time, a lot of rules and guidelines have been developed, and all these rules and guidelines are for the safety of the child. The biggest challenge for this program is the safety of child while he's in this country or that. So Rotary takes full precautions. For example, I'll tell you, every family where the child is hosted or any person who is associated with Rotary Youth Exchange Program, he has to essentially undergo background check. So they have detailed background check of every family. Here also we have to do the police verification. In India, we do not have it is not that stringent, but still we have to undergo that police verification. And if it comes out that any person or a family has a past record where there is a case of child abuse or any other criminal activity, so they are not allowed to participate or they are not allowed to be a part of this program. So Rotary takes all those precautions, and they have set a guideline for children when they are in the other country. Those guidelines have to be strictly followed, and all those guidelines help maintain security of the child while he is in that country. So, like I said, Rotary support is always there. Rotary Club, they take care of the child whom they are hosting. And though this program is run by the district, actually it is the clubs, because district only organizes things, but actually everything is done by the clubs. The clubs take care of the child, they are hosting the child, and that is why the responsibility primarily will be of the clubs which are there. Right now also the clubs identify the students who are going. They do the family, they visit the family, they check out whether they have the right kind of facilities, they get the police check done. The state of course helps them at every step, but most of the activities are done by the clubs actually. So this is the financial, because this is a program which is run totally by Rotary on volunteering basis, and the expenses which are involved are taken care of by the families which are participating or willing to participate in this program. So we have this application fees of 5,000, inbound support fund of 70,000. I'll tell you what this inbound support fund is. When our child goes to the other country, they are given pocket allowance between $75 to $150. And when the children come from outside and they stay with our families here, we give them up to say 5,000 rupees, 3,000 in form of pocket money, and 2,000 in support of their hobby classes that they wish to undertake. So we give them that amount every month. So it is the same we get back when our child goes there. We take the refundable security deposit of 10,000, and all the other related expenses have to be taken care of by the family. There is all these things are there. We'll come to know about this in detail when we meet during the interviews. In short term, the application fees remain the same. Minimum support fund is 20,000, and all the return air tickets, visa, medical insurance, all those have to be taken care of the participant. Yeah. So generally, this is the schedule which is followed. 15th November, which is coming up soon, is the last date on the cutoff date for the receiving the application. And selection interviews are scheduled in Nagpur on 3rd of December. The exchanges generally take place, short term takes place during April to August. That's the window. And generally, our students go in the month of April, May, and the students from other countries they come to India in the month of July and go back in the month of August because that's the time they have holidays. And long term also, the schedule is generally we have an orientation camp in the month of June, and we have some grooming programs around that period. And departure generally is in, and the return back is the following May of the June. So how do we apply? Basically, you have to contact Rotary Club officials, any Rotary Club that you are connected with. You have to route your applications to the club president. Or if every club has a Rotary Youth Exchange team, so the applications should be routed ideally to them. And the officers will guide you for the further process. I only feel that next step would be once you have applied, there will be a home visit made by some members of the club and district team. And following that, you will be invited for the interview. And following the interview, and the country of placement will be conveyed to you. You will have to fill up another detailed form, which is the actual form for the exchange program you are opting for. And that form will be then sent to the other country, and that usually happens in the month of January. And we get confirmations by month of March. In March, we confirm in which country you have been placed, and then the paperwork starts. Generally, the visa process takes up some time. Nowadays, there are delays in case of certain countries, so we have to be, very prompt in applying so that we are able to secure our visa and leave the country as scheduled in the month of August. So this is a lifetime opportunity for students or the participants of this program, and international exposure helps students to gain confidence, become global citizens, and it is supported round the clock by volunteers, and it is one of the safest programs. Just to make you aware, we have more girls going on this program from our district. Generally, the ratio is 6 to 4 or 60% are girls who go on this program. And a lot of vegetarian family wards have been on this program every year. Every year. Again, that percentage also is quite high. It is difficult to get adapted, but then everything is declared in the forms to the country where you are going to, and they take sufficient care to see that whatever the food preferences are there, they are taken care of. And of course, our students have to learn to adapt and to the food which is there, because there will be a lot of change. Students will be sharing, working on the program, will be sharing their experiences with you. And before I conclude, let me add that Rotary was very, very, they realized very, very early that if we have to see the change that we are actually looking at in the world, then we have to take care of the youth. Right from beginning, Rotary has been engaging with the youth through various programs. We have multiple programs for youth. We have intra clubs at school level. We have Rotary clubs from 18 above students. We have Rotary clubs, and Rotary has been conducting various programs targeted at youth. We have RIDA and other programs. Muna is another program which one of our clubs here in Nagpur is very passionate about and takes it up very well. So we have a lot of programs, and Rotary has been engaging the youth for a lot of years now. And we have all these official programs which are running for more than 50, 60 years. So, last slide. Again, exchange is, a lot of these students have told us that it's not a year in your life, but it is a life in a year. So it is an excellent experience, and to participate in the Youth Exchange Program, the families who are here, the parents, you will get an opportunity to host a child from abroad. That also is a great experience for the family. And I'll urge students to apply for this program and also spread a word to your student friends who may be interested in this program. Good luck and thank you so much for the patience.
Thank you, Rajendra sir. We have kept a question answer session in the last, so any of the questions if you have, you can ask in the last session. Well, in the explanation what Rajendra sir has given, I think most of it was important for the student to understand as well for the parents. New experiences, adaptability, new culture, and independence with responsibility. These are all something absolutely what you will add to your personality when you are RY students. Well, now something interesting for you. We'll have two students' presentation who had been on this program last year. So first, I would request Redima, who had been to France, to come forward and give a short presentation. She had been Rotary Youth Exchange on the Rotary Youth Exchange program last year to the France. Redima, please.
Good morning, everybody, parents and students. I am Ridhima Shah, and I'm currently 17 years old, studying in Bhavan Civil Line. And I went to France, District 1670, as a Rotary Youth Exchange student. And today I'm going to present on my journey. Okay, so before starting, I'll tell you all a little story of how my exchange started. So I left on the 23rd August 2022, and my mom, she was very stressed out about me leaving, and she was like, "Ridhima, कुछ भी घुमा देना, phone घुमा देना, luggage घुमा देना, wallet घुमा देना, but passport मत घुमाना, क्योंकि वो सबसे ज़्यादा important होता है." But the first thing I lost in the Paris airport was my passport. So from this, my journey began. And nobody could believe जो like first day पे अपना passport घुमा देगी वो पूरे साल कैसे रहेगी अकेले. So that was how my exchange began. Okay, so I was placed in District 1670 of Lille, which is the north of France, which is the coldest region of France. So here the temperature normally goes from 40 degrees in summer, and there I was shifted to -5, -6 degrees, and I had not planned to like take the clothes according to that, क्योंकि मुझे लगा था 1, 2, 3 ऐसा जाएगा. But -10 I had never imagined कि वो इतना long, इतना ज़्यादा ठंडा होगा. So that was one of my biggest culture shocks. And also about my district in Lille, they have a special accent of speaking in French. So at the first, I didn't know how to speak French. So I had learned a little basics of कैसे बोलते हैं वगैरह, but then because of the accent, I couldn't understand at all. And the school students, they used to prank on me and they used to tell me to say various stuff to the teachers. And I didn't understand, so I said it. So that was one of the culture shocks. And also, one of the culture shocks coming from me was the fashion sense, because France is one of the greatest, the biggest, the fashion capital of the world. But I didn't know that schools made the people will be very well dressed, because in Indian schools we are told to wear proper uniforms, those choti bante and all. So the first day I went to school, I saw like the girls wearing heavy makeup and long hair with handbags, and it was like a work fashion show. So from there, I was like, maybe I should start dressing up. But then I used to take the bus at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I was like too tired to get ready and all. And also about other, okay. So yeah, so this is my district 1670 rail. It is a very beautiful place. And this is me with the other exchange student from India, from Pune, and I was the youngest exchange student in my district out of 30 students. So these are my three host exchange families. So I had the great opportunity to, I was very lucky to have three host families who were like really good, and the host families are the biggest part of your exchange year, because they teach you everything. If you have a problem, you can go to them first, and you don't need to feel uncomfortable with them. And I did my first with them, like I celebrated my first Christmas with them, and they celebrated their first Diwali with me, where I made pav bhaji. So this is the Rotary in France. So the best thing about Rotary Youth Exchange is you get to meet like people from all around the world, like 30, 40, many students from more than 15 to 20 countries, and then we take photos with the flags. So I got an opportunity to go to Mont Saint Michel, a place in France, with all the students from 6 different districts of France, which is more than 150 students from 30 different countries. Mexico, Colombia, America, and it was amazing to see how different people can be by the culture, by the personality, and how fast we get connected. Friends all over the world. The best thing about exchange is you get to make not only local friends but also exchange student friends. And with exchange, you can do various things, like you can participate in sports, you can do hobby classes. And for that, I played tennis, and I had a great opportunity to represent my city for the national tennis tournament. Culture shock. Oh, okay. Living abroad also comes with many culture shocks. For the first thing, my first week in France, I was in the breakfast table, and I saw my host dad drinking hot chocolate, but he dipped his cheese bread with the hot chocolate, and that was one of the biggest culture shocks, even for the French, I think. Okay. And then one of the other was when I was sick, my host mom asked me to eat ice cream. When in India, it is like very no, do not eat ice cream when you are sick. With RY is not always rainbows and candies. It also comes with a lot of hardships. For me, homesickness was one of the biggest challenges I faced through, because during the winters in European countries there is no light. Mostly the day goes on for 4 to 5 hours only. So it was really difficult for me to cope up with that. Plus, you are on your own initially, you don't know the language, you don't know how to communicate with other people. Because in France, for me, the people in my high school, they couldn't speak English at all. So it took me 4 to 5 months to learn to communicate with them in French. And it is also, it made me very independent, because usually in India, when you have your parents, you don't do any of the things. That is true. So with RYE, I got a chance to get independent and to improve my personality. So if you have any questions, you can contact me. Okay, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ridhima. And if anybody knows Ridhima, like never what she is after coming from this program, you know. Well, the next student who is going to present you is Advait Dixit, who had been to USA last year. Advait?
Hello, I'm Advait Dixit. I'm 17 and I went to the US last year, 2022 to 2023, and I'll just share all my experience things with you. Next slide, please. Uh, this is basically the town I went to. I didn't know much about how exchange worked before I applied, but they basically, if you pick the US, they will give you a state and then they will tell you a chota say town that you go to. This town was in Wisconsin. It's a state on the northeast of the US, and the town I went to is called Beaver Dam. It only had about 16, 15,000 people there. And movies में बहुत देखते होंगे, it was like exactly how like a suburban American town, if you imagine, is. Next slide, please. Uh, a main thing to take away with Rotary Exchange is how you learn about other countries' cultures. My main things were, like Ridhima said, the uh, festivals and stuff that she celebrated with host families, like Christmas and stuff. I had only ever seen on TV or stuff. Like I didn't know how big of a deal Halloween really was, or Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I got to do all of those things, and it was exactly like how you see. Another thing is because I saw a lot of other exchange students struggling with this is US in the US, especially if you're from India, you don't have that language barrier kind of stopping you. I saw people from other countries struggling with English, like हमारी English अच्छी रहती है तो we can communicate and get by pretty well over there. Next slide, please. Another thing about the culture is when you're in such a small town, you really learn about what local community things are. And for example, I live right beside a lake, so like most of the time on the weekend they would take me hunting. So that's we would do dogs. Then we did a lot of fishing. This football. I watched American football for the first time. I still don't really know how it works, but it was like that sense of community that you get is something, especially in Nagpur, which I haven't really seen. Everyone knows each other, everyone helps around. In the host families, I was very lucky to have three amazing host families, and in their house, everyone they treat you like you're their own child. They take you in, they advise you on how to do things. You can go to them for any help you need and anything. Next slide. And with the probably the biggest change for me was school. Schools here are very uh, strict, I would say. Their schools here in the US are very lenient and much more free, I guess. So there would be, first of all, the school, the infrastructure was just beautiful. That's the cafeteria, that's outside, that's our gym. And they would constantly encourage you to take part in extracurricular activities. So I did tennis there and I played for my town and stuff for 3 or 4 months. There's plenty of other things that you can do. I was part of the yearbook club. I was part of 2, 3 clubs that they started, and it's such a change from school here because here it's just like study, study. Okay, I'll be exam. Study, study. Exam. But here, it's nothing like that. It's studies mixed with fun. I guess they understand the teachers then understand better how to teach you and how to encourage you to do things better. Exciting. Another probably the best part of the whole exchange is how you meet other other people from different countries and like experience cultures other than yours. So first of all, you will when you're placed in a district, they will give you every few months you will have a meet with your district students. That's top right is my district. We made like a sign for future people to sign, and then it's you get to learn about how they are adapting to exchange and then you relate, make new friends. Where I live, there were 18 people, including me in our district, 18 exchange students, and we were spread out throughout the south of the state. It Whenever we would get together, we would always have like different stories and things that have happened on our exchange. One more thing I forgot to tell was another culture shock that I had was trying new food, especially in the US. Um, I feel if you're from here, food is very different to how it is in other countries. So I was in my first family's house, and one day they were like, "We made something new. We want you to try it." They told me it's venison. I didn't know what venison was, and I ate it, and I hated it. It is very it was like very leathery type of meat. It's deer meat, is what I found out later. It is deer meat that my host dad had hunted and killed, and then they fed it to me that night. Uh, but I can safely say it's not for me, but at least I experienced something next time. This is basically my takeaway from the whole exchange. Like Parents said, it's not a year in your life, it's life in 1 year. You learn things about yourself, you develop new skills and hobbies that you probably didn't know you had or had interests in, like fishing, for example. And it's just like a once in a lifetime opportunity. If you can do it, you probably should do it. It comes with the I know parents are always like it's comes with the cost of one academic year, what will happen, but it's a worthy investment to put your child in, at least in my opinion. Thank you.
Well, you can see the blazer of Advait. These are all pins, and who gave you and in what way you collect the pins. Just
So when you go out for exchange, you will take a set of pins with you, and each pin on this jacket has been given to me by a different student. So each pin here is a new person I've met, is a new person I've connected with throughout my exchange here.
Thank you, Advait. Well, for you all parents and students, a bit more to understand, we'll have an interaction with more students, who have been on this exchange, with asking them few of the questions. I would invite, the students, rebound students sitting over here, Advait, Ridhima, Sudhiti, Aryan, Ruchir, Saloni, and Akshit. Please come on the stage. Well, these are all wonderful students who have been on an exchange for the past 2 years. So, like we will ask them a few questions, in fact, to make you much more clear about, the doubts, what usually parents have. And later, even after this session, we will have a question answer session with you. Any of the doubts, what you have, you can ask to us. So, I will start from Saloni. Well, Saloni, like again and again, everybody says once in a lifetime experience. हर speech में बोलते हैं once in a lifetime experience. These students को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Just explain it. What is this once in a lifetime experience?
So the reason of saying once in a lifetime is you get to do many things in that year. So usually when you are in school year, you might do sports in 1 year and you excel at it, or there might be one academic year you're good. But during exchange, you are managing your school, you are visiting your Rotary Club, you are addressing them as your ambassador, you attend overnights with other exchange students, meet community where you live, you travel to other places. So from school to your host family, to your exchange students, to your other clubs you are part of, you do so many things which we are not able to do here in our normal life because we are unaware of. So you explore more, as Advai said. It's an incredible opportunity. You learn, you develop, you are more competent um, by the process. You learn how to address a gathering, you learn how to talk. So it's a wonderful opportunity because you learn to balance, and that balance is what makes once in a lifetime opportunity.
Good. Okay. So the next question, Sudhiti, you have been on an exchange last year. Apart from you are a vegetarian, so I think that would be the right question for you. Well, like lot of people, parents, children has got a myth. कि अगर मैं vegetarian हूँ तो 10 महीने कैसे रह सकता हूँ? So you are Jain? Yeah. Okay. She's from the Jain family, absolutely vegetarian. So just listen from her how she managed 10 months being a vegetarian on the tour.
So, food was a major problem, and that makes you homesick the most. And but my host families did know and tried, like they had to make whole different dinner for me, but they did it and they did it willingly. They used to try new stuff so that I don't have to eat the same food every single day. With my first host family, she didn't cook as much, so I had to take out, but that was good as well, so that like I don't have the fear eating solar khana and stuff. But they really made sure that I was well fed and um, yeah.
But it's the important thing is that in any of these 10 months, do you find that anything is less to enjoy your program because you're vegetarian?
No, no,
So that's more important.
yeah,
Yeah. And most of the time, I think you girls or you boys,
yeah, we cook.
you cook. You
They
help your
really
mom over
love
there and you
Indian
cook.
food and trying out Indian food, so they really ask you to make. Like recently, I had to share some recipes because they got okra, like baking
Yeah.
so they don't really know how to make that. So
Yeah.
then she asked me.
Yeah, and even on the Indian festivals when you enjoy, I think you cook in their kitchens and make them in Indian dishes, right? Because I see all this thing in the pictures what you sent from there. Yeah. Okay. Well, the next question is like apart from your school activities, what is something where you can involve yourself with?
So my suggestion to all who are going on an exchange is school is a part of the exchange, but there are many other activities where you can indulge yourself. So for me, sports has always been my go-to, whether it was in India or whether it was in US. So I got to play sports like baseball. I was a fan of cricket in India, so baseball was kind of similar. So I got to play baseball. I got to play sailing. So sailing is like the boat sailing in the sea. So we were close to the water body, and there was a sailing sport there. So I got to do that. Uh, there was cross country skiing, like plain hill skiing, which was also another experience for me. And the fourth sport was soccer. So apart from the school activities, your school has these sports where you can involve yourself. And my suggestion to everyone would be that this is the best way of doing friendship and traveling, because when you're in a sports team, they have tournaments in different states, different cities. Sometimes you get to travel from the. I was in the West Coast in Oregon, USA. I didn't get to travel to the east, but there were a lot of sports like the higher varsity baseball team who got to go to Arizona and other cities. But you definitely get to travel within your state. So that's a good way of doing friendship as well as traveling with the friends you have made in that sports.
Okay. Well, how difficult it was to adjust with three families.
So having an exchange here, the most challenging part about it is that you have two or three host families. So mostly it happens like you go to a stranger's family and you take 3 or 4 months to adjust there, and then with Roti, when you are finally adjusted, it's time to change. So it can be difficult for people at times. For me, it was very difficult because with my first host family, I was so attached that when I shifted to my second host family, I became sick for like 2 weeks. So it is really difficult, but it also depends from person to person of how well you can adjust with your surroundings, and that's also a part of your experience. Thank you.
Well, Advay, you have been on the tour on this program.
Yes. So for my district, they had an external tour company basically give us a choice of 7 or 8 tours. I did two of them. I did New York and West Coast tour, but it varies from district because sometimes the district will themselves have a tour included, which I think all of them have are an extra fees, but they're worth it because you get to see the country you've been in and you get to basically surround yourself with other places than where you are the host town. Yes.
Okay. So, what was your experience of tours?
The tour was it's just fun. Like it's just a vacation of that. They take you around the country. They show you famous places. Like for the West Coast tour, we went to Las Vegas. We went to California. We went to LA and stuff. Hollywood, Disneyland. Like it's just like a vacation at the end of your exchange. It's definitely worth it.
Actually, one of the best experience of the tour.
So one of the best experiences would be cooking every Sunday with my host father. So that another thing, I am a vegetarian from a Jain family, so that was a challenge in France. So they already knew that I am a vegetarian and my host father liked to cook. So we had this thing in the family that every morning my host mother would cook and every evening my host father would cook. So every Sundays we used to cook together, like something Indian, something from there, local, but it was every time it was something new. And for like the biggest thing would be during Christmas, I cook for like 28 people along with my host father. And in during Diwali, there we made gulab jamun. So it was first time for them. So cooking was like one of the best things. So it would be what's normal here, like roti sabji or something like that. It's very unusual there.
Yeah.
One thing what I missed was roti. Roti paratha, nothing was there. It was like plain bread. If anything similar to that. So that was one thing that was very new to them, but also something I missed. So it was like very regular. And as I said, like cooking on Christmas. So it was, if I remember, it was like mixed veg or paneer ki sabji along with naan.
Great. Well, Ria, during your tour of these 10 months, anytime as a girl you felt that you are unsafe or you felt not comfortable on this program?
No, really, I did not felt this because um, I only had one host family. I mean, I had to, but I did not change my host family because I was very comfortable with my. So it was very safe. And then even I went for the tours, and I went from north of Spain to south of Spain alone in the train just to meet a friend of mine. So it was totally safe. It was I did not feel as a girl, like to be specific, I did not feel that it was unsafe at any point.
Usually, like Indian parents have got a lot of elevations. ये मेरी लड़की जा रही है तो मुझे ये ध्यान रखना चाहिए वो ध्यान रखना चाहिए. And your parents must have also guided you. So can you just explain a bit over it, please? Just throw light over it, like what parents uh, feeling is, in fact, to send their girl, and how was your experience?
Okay, so like my parents decided to send me. It was not me who decided to go on my own. So it was my parents only who decided. And while going, they just like when I talked to my host family once before going, and even my family talked to my host family once before going, and that's it. And there was no communication between the families, or even I did not have any communication with my family. So when I reached there, I got like a new SIM card and all of that which the family gave me. So like while going, all my parents told me to just to stay in contact, and there was nothing specific that my parents told me because Mamta auntie was always there, and the Rotary Club always take the responsibility of the city.
Good. Give it to Ruchita. Well, Ruchita, I think you had something special to share. You participated in a football team, and Ruchita was there, no?
I have heard this story.
So, Ruchit, everybody would be happy to listen to that story. Because being a student in the school, participating and getting that glory of having the holding of your picture in the school or somewhere else. Just explain that.
Right. So, my whole year I was involved in soccer or football in different ways. So, the first 3 or 4 months it was about men's football, and I played as in the varsity team. So, there are two different teams, varsity and junior varsity. So, the A team is varsity. So, I was in that team. And then winter season, so the place where I went, it was minus 40. It went down to minus 40 degrees. So it was super cold. So no outside sports. So everything was inside. So I was still involved in football, in outdoor football. So, but in the next remaining 3 4 months, so I thought I've been in football for all this time, so I'll stick to football. So that time is about female football. So what should I do? So I'll help my coach them. So I was there teaching or making sure that everyone's on time in practice, making drills and everything, all of that. So that's how I was involved in football the whole, whole year. So I mean there is additional thing. So other than education, there are certain things that I took. So if you know that in US you are allowed to pick subjects, and there were mandatory subjects, maths, not maths, history, US history, English, and one more was there. Yes, government. So these are mandatory subjects, but there were a lot more that I can choose from. So there were some random subjects that I took. One was pottery, one was carpentry, one was automobile diagnostics, right? And completely random because I knew these are the things I won't be able to do here, so might as well just go there. And I learned so much. So before going, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer because my father is also a mechanical engineer. And when I took the class automobile diagnostics, I found that it is very difficult. So I switched to computer science. Right? But that those three subjects gave me a teaching, right? Gave me a lesson. Right? Those three things to do as a skill is very difficult, and that uh, increased a certain respect for the neighbors that we have in India. Right? So that's how the exchange changed me.
Wonderful. Well, any of the students sitting here wants to ask questions to them? If anybody feels like, you want to know something, you want to apply this year and you want to know something, you can ask the question to these students.
I want to add to this.
Yes, please.
So I also was placed in US in the West Coast, and as Nikhil said, he had taken three different subjects. At that moment, always wanted to concentrate on my health and fitness. There was a subject which was an in-class subject for the curriculum, which I chose was bodybuilding, and it was basically just a professional trainer training everyone in the whoever was in the class about body building and fitness and all. So that is something we don't get in India as a subject. That was one thing I did. There was another subject which was called, I don't remember the name, but it was kind of a event management thing wherein we were given an opportunity to organize all the events that happened in our school. So there were events like homecoming. It's a dance where the guy asks a girl to come over for the dance, and there is a winter formal. There is a prom. Prom. I think most of you might be knowing prom. You might have seen some Netflix series where it's exactly like that. So because I was in US, before it was just an imagination कि हाँ ऐसा कुछ होता है, but हम जब वहाँ गए, so it was a reality, our imagination coming into reality. So that was a very good experience. So I would just say that if any one of you who is applying for any country, if you have seen some things on the Netflix or the web series about France, Germany, US, about the college culture or the school culture, 80% of it is true. So you get to live that. So uh, it would be fun. I think most of you might know what college would be like watching the web series. So that's what I.
Well, Aryan is the Rotex president this year for the Rotex 3030. And as Rajendra explained you, this Rotex is all the alumni who has come back from this RY. Well, my last question to you is, two of you can answer. How this Rotary Youth Exchange has changed your life?
The biggest change for me, it's no one might have imagined that, and that is for the parents as well. So after going for the exchange, I don't know what happened, but I started loving my parents more. That is the reality. So I don't know. Before going to the exchange, I've always studied in a boarding school. I was in from 5th grade to 10th grade. I was in a boarding school in Panjim, and then in 11th grade I'm in the US. So my connect with my parents kind of went further. But as soon as my exchange got over when I was in the US, I was my connection with my parents became very strong, and it is getting stronger ever since. So that is the biggest thing, the advantage of positivity that happened in my life, and it has changed my families and my personal life completely. The second most important thing that I feel that changed me on my exchange was before going on an exchange, I was a very underconfident person. If you would ask me to speak on the stage, it was like the biggest task you could ever give me. So, but now it's completely changed. No matter what I do, exchange is a part of it. It has made me confident, and I'm confident in doing things, uh, accepting new challenges because exchange itself is a challenge. You go to a new country where you don't know people. In my in my district, the city I was placed in, there was a population of only 7,000 people. And the second part is there was only one half Indian. So mom is American, dad was Indian. So I was the only complete Indian in my city. So being in that city and making new friends is sometimes difficult, but we had accomplished and overcome that difficulty in 2 3 months time, and that made me more confident, and that made me value things that I have back home. That's what I was saying.
Priya?
With me, the most important.
Well, the question was how this Rotary Youth Exchange has impacted your life and how it has changed you. Because you know you are just 16 basically when you go on this. Now you are a bit grown up. So in the change of personality, what do you feel after coming back from that program? I want you to explain that.
Yes, so as Aryan said, it makes all the exchange students very confident. You are able to talk to people. You feel that like you are a global citizen basically. And you are just ready to accept all the challenges that come to your way. And the most important thing that impacted my life personally, I would say that I made relationships with my host parents, and that relationship with my host parents is so incredible that if like last December they were here in India, they were celebrating with me. They were here for my sister's wedding, and you just get to build a lot of relationships outside your comfort zone. When you go out, you just meet new people, and you just try to love them as if you knew them from the start. So love, I guess that is the most important thing that I learned to exchange, and it impacted my life.
Thank you very much.
Just to add on to having relations with host families, so I went on the exchange on 17 and 18. But like even till date, we message each other on our birthdays. I message them on their birthdays. They message, like I get messages on my birthdays. I wish them Christmas greetings. They wish me Diwali greetings. So it's like till date we are in touch, not in regular contact, but we are in touch on occasions.
Thank you very much. Thank you all of you. Any questions? Yes.
First of all, thank you, Rotary, and thank you all the IIT students for sharing their experiences. Being a mother of a teenagers like you, my question is that in spite of all the good things that you have learned, there would have been at some point of time a moment where you would have really thought that I can't take this anymore. You would be feeling sick, you would be facing the adverse climatic conditions and all. So if any one of you is comfortable, can you please share how did you get out of that moment? Because that matters a lot to the parents.
So, we all go through it, and that was a culture shock, we usually say. But that's where we learn that we need to communicate. So, on the day one, when I was preparing for my exchange, Ruchi was the one who guided me as well. So, we were told that it's a very good experience. Even Abhay mentioned that when you go to US, the language is not the barrier. So even I thought I was spiraling on the same lines. It's easier to communicate. On the very day one, I missed my school bus, and everyone has mentioned that population there is very less. So in few moments, you will have nobody near you. Everything will be locked. There will be no humans near you. So I got scared. I was like, what to do? I missed up the bus numbers. So I was looking for a morning bus, but my number was different. So a lot of scare. I didn't have a mobile at that time, which was working. I had to call my parents. I was not frequent, like I was not acquainted with school authorities or where can I go and complain or what can I do next. So now what to do next? So how can I stick here now be alone? There's no one. Then you find where the authorities are. You try to reach. I called. I was very much crying at that moment. Now I'm lost. There's nobody. It's day one. So we all have those moments. Initially, the food was a problem. I was not able to eat anything. So so vegetarian for them is true vegetables. It's not curries or it's not paneer. It's asparagus, it's zucchini, it's more in that side. Here we don't eat those kind of vegetables. So my dad used to call me that you are a vegetarian who doesn't eat vegetables. You don't eat any vegetables. You only like paneer and curries. What kind of vegetarian are you? So at that time I said I want to go back. I cannot eat anything. So then I communicated that this is what I cannot eat. You need to get me something. You need to get me rice. You need to get me some different vegetables. I cannot eat boiled broccoli or I cannot eat boiled asparagus on a day one. I have never eaten it. So you have to communicate. So you learn that in those worst times when you're like, I'm stuck, I want to go back, then you are at a moment that you need to tell someone. Even the district youth exchange committee always tells you, if you cannot talk to your family, talk to your counselor. If you cannot talk to your counselor, talk to the Rotary president. Talk. So then you learn that you get solutions when you communicate. So that's, I think everyone will agree that when we more communicate, it solves our problems.
I would like to add for the food thing. So there are two sides of the food thing. So I'm a non-vegetarian. So there might be people in the vegetarian category where they might have lost weight after coming back from the US. I gained 10 kgs. So you might imagine that I was enjoying my food there because they have a lot of they have a lot of new types of dishes and there is a dominance of different variety of food. So there is Asian non-vegetarian food. There is the Middle Eastern. There is the American food. So I think it was a year of cheat meal for me, which my dad never uh, counted me upon. So for me, the food experience being a non-vegetarian was very good. With the veg thing, it's a little bit of a problem, but with time, I think every one of us adjusted, and it was not a big of a problem that you are being homesick after a time. So yeah, that's what I would say.
There are also factors that I guess are not in your control. For me, it was the climate. It happened like December, January, where I had to go to school with the bus every day, and it used to be -20, -30 every morning, and like so piles and piles of snow, and you have to walk through it to get to the bus. But the main thing is, I just like if you even if you talk about it, you can't get rid of snow, right? But you just have to kind of push yourself more as a student to basically like hold on to your kind of strength and be like, oh, I can do this. It's only like a few months of winter, then it will be fine. But yeah, there's and with the food, there was I think for the first 4-ish months, I hadn't had any food that was like even remotely Indian. The town I was in was like a completely white town. It had no Indian restaurants for like at least 2 hours away. So for little like one of the nights of Thanksgiving holidays, my Vaigyo called me to his house, and then we basically cooked paneer, dal makhani, gulab jamun, all of that together for an entire day. It was one of the best days of my experience, was cooking with my youth exchange officer.
Also, to this, I would like to add that I was homesick the second day I went to Spain. I went to Spain and the second day I was homesick. I wanted to come back because language was like a really big barrier for me because I did not know even a bit of Spanish and they could not speak English. So the second day I went and I was using Google Translator to communicate to everyone. So I guess with time there will be days which will be like there will be very sad days and you will want to come back to your own comfort zone. But once you start building relationships there with your host family and building friendships there, I guess it gets a lot easier. When I went during Diwali, I hosted a Diwali party and we made pav bhaji and everything that could be possible there. So I guess it will require time and patience and again love.
And that's the learning. That's the experience, basically. You know? So because like you're sending your children to make up their personality, and this is all stepping stone where they get first hand experience over there when their parents are not there to learn a lot of things and face all these challenges what comes in front of them. And I think today our children are very smart, and they can face all this and can be a very successful Rotary Youth Exchange student like these all. Thank you very much. You can take back those seats. Now I request inbounds to please come. Just ask them a few questions because the parents whose children are going to go, they will get an opportunity to host as well. So make it work. Sky, I think you all four just introduce yourself. Introduce with the families name also that you are saying and in the school with us.
नमस्ते मेरा नाम स्काई है मैं अमेरिका से हूँ मैं 18 साल की हूँ I stay with the Bhatia family now
And we go to participation.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम अनन्या, मैं बेल्जियम से हूँ। मैं अकाला से भी हूँ। I'm from district 2160. And I in the first family, trained first family, assistant in DTT, but from Burma.
Namaste, मेरा नाम लुईस है, फ्रेंच से हूँ, I'm 15 years old, in the family Kotawala. A little bit good. Namaste, मेरा नाम फिलिप है, मैं जापानी से हूँ. I'm 16 years old, I'm from district 3030, and I also go to Polytechnic with Sky.
Well, Philip, first question to you. You're staying with a Gujarati vegetarian family. You know,
I'm trying to cover that.
yeah, how good like you're adjusting to all the responsibilities.
So for the first weeks, it was very difficult for me. Only eating roti, sabji, dal, rice every day. And for me, everything was spicy. It didn't matter if I ate pizza, if I ate tomato soup, if I ate sabji, everything was spicy. So it has been quite a struggle at the start. I have one person in Germany I can text to. She's an Indian exchange student alumna, so she went to India as well in 2020. So if I have any questions about India, I can write to her. And I said, I can't do this anymore. This chapati, I ate too much chapati, but I can't do this anymore. And she said, yes, I know how you feel. But now I've adjusted well enough. I can eat spicy food and I can eat chapati every day.
Yeah, and your family was telling me that you're helping to cook them as well.
Yes, sometimes I cook, yes. But I cooked spaghetti with tomato sauce once. I gave it to my host mom. She said, it's so bland. I cannot eat this. For me, it was perfect.
Well, Louis, so how is your experience of 3.5 months?
It's good, but for me too, it's the food. Paneer.
Yeah, paneer, you like it.
Plastic for me.
Okay, but still, Louis, I don't find you have lost any kgs, you know, like,
No.
you look very handsome and what I saw you the day you landed in Nagpur at the airport, and what I can see you today, you're looking much better today.
Because basically I was in a veg country, so chicken was missing me. But now I changed, now I can eat chicken, so now I'm better.
And now your family is not vegetarian, so you're getting everything. Okay. Otherwise, it's apart from food, how is your experience?
It's good, but yes, good. Maybe different culture, traditions, the festival too. Not that festival.
Yeah, because I've seen you enjoying all the festivals.
Yes, it's good. Yes, yes, Java for 1 week.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, Anna, again, you are staying with Jain family, so you have adopted everything very well.
Yes.
And your experience of 3.5 months.
Yeah, it's been good. I've traveled a lot in my life, so I think I've had maybe less difficulties than the others to address. I would say about the food, I adjusted to it very well because I love it. There's so much diversity in food, but now I start to feel like I eat spaghetti and roti every day. So it starts to feel a bit repetitive, but I still prefer that than bread is better. When you used to have bread every morning, bread every lunch. So I said, would rather eat chapati and roti every lunch than what I have better.
Yeah, and apart from that, you know, you all are learning Kathak dance and Indian musics and yoga as well. You can share some that things also with them.
So at school we have more like I didn't think it was possible, but we don't have the curriculum the others have. We more have like flexible classes that they made for us so that we could learn more about the culture.
So we asked for yoga as well. So now we have yoga at school. I think that's one of our favorite classes maybe. Only me, Sky, and Pedro are doing, Pedro's not present today, are doing yoga classes at school because we have to stay longer, half an hour longer at school. But we've been learning a bit about it, so I'm grateful for that.
Okay, Sky, so like in 3.5 months of time, you have gone through a lot of Indian festivals, Ganesh Utsav, and Krishna Janmashtami, now Navratri and Diwali is approaching. So all these colorful festivals, what were your experience?
I personally love all of the festivals. Seeing everyone dressed up and being able to participate, especially with the dancing and garba. It's just like such a community thing. Like everyone just jumps in, even if you don't know the specific dance. You watch someone in front of you, and then you copy them, and it's like everyone's dancing together. It's such a I love it. And the food, staying out late and then doing it all over the next day. The only thing I have that is kind of hard to do because it's so loud. I love how bright and vibrant everything is, but oftentimes I leave and then I'm like cotton in my ears because it's like ringing. But still, I love the dancing, I love the colors, I love dressing up, I love the
Yeah. And but you all have got a bit opinion about the food, but now you're enjoying pani puris and samosas and everything.
Yeah. Actually, we made pani puri at our school, so that was kind of fun to get to connect to the teachers and like learn something that we can like take home with us. So yeah.
So that were inbound students.
Yeah, we need
So देखिए ये ऐसा है कि 1-2 महीने लगते हैं एडजस्ट होने के लिए. Then they start enjoying everything. This is every year's experience basically. And same will be with our students who are going there. Earlier 1 or 2 months they have to adjust it, and then everything will be fine. Thank you, inbound student. I would request Rajendra to please come here. Mamta ji. Well, this is the last session. This is very specifically for the parents. If you want to ask any question about Rotary Youth Exchange, you can ask.
Visa का जो भी documentation, all the documentation comes from the country where the child is going. Rest, जो visa का standard procedure है, that has to be followed. We have travel agents who have been assisting us for a number of years now. जो visa के लिए student को parents को guide करते हैं. तो नागपुर में भी हैं, दूसरी cities में भी हैं जहाँ से बच्चे आते हैं. तो इवन जैसे नागपुर वाले एजेंट हैं उनकी बेटी खुद IY प्रोग्राम में गई हुई है तो दे नो वेरी वेल एंड दे गाइड यू थ्रू दैट ओरिएंटेशन जब हम लेते हैं तो उसमें भी दैट इज द एसेंशियल पार्ट कि वीजा प्रोसेस कैसे हैंडल करना है कुछ कंट्रीज का पोस्ट कोविड थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा था बट बहुत सी कंट्रीज हैं जहाँ कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है जर्मनी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है यूएस का कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आता है most of the students who are going to US, they don't face any challenge. France का कोई challenge नहीं है. Belgium का इस साल कोई challenge नहीं है. Mexico, Spain थोड़ा सा challenge होता है. तो we have to be early while we are applying. थोड़ा उनका 1 month, 1.5 month का process extra रहता है. We have to be cautious. That's it. बाकी otherwise, generally the visa process is not much of a challenge. Any other questions?
My question is with respect to the choice of country students using
Generally, we ask every applicant to specify at least give us at least 2 or 3 countries where they wish to go to. That we usually ask. Many of the parents, while applying, they or students they prefer US. Maybe one of the reasons is that US is one of the most developed countries that we have, and the language barrier will not be there. But we always try and explain to parents that learning a new language is something which will be an asset for the life of the child. And that's why if a student prefers to go to other country other than US, then that student, he or she will pick up a new language, which will remain with that. We have some students here who have come back and they have started language classes in Nagpur also. It is being run by them. So that they could do because they picked up that new language. होता ये है कि we have limited number of seats in each country. Like US generally we get 5 or 6, or maybe this year we have 8. In France generally we have 3 to 5. Germany we have 2. Spain normally 2 to 3. So limitation वहाँ होती है. Wherever possible we match the choices. Wherever possible. But then that is communicated very well in advance. ये country आपको मिल रही है. So in case